Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We have another special song for you guys today. This is going to be a very interesting song for me. It is a Bulgarian song, something that came up in my feed. It is The Great Voices of Bulgaria by Bre Petrunko. I'm assuming that he is a composer. It seemed like it was a live performance, but this is my first Bulgarian song, so I'm actually very excited to give it a listen to. But yes, without further ado, Bre Petrunko, The Great Voices of Bulgaria. Yeah, live performance. Hey Petrunko, I think that's the song name. Oh. Wow. This is, I guess, like an opera then, essentially. But it's really not. This seems, I'm assuming, like a folk song. I like how everyone is dressed in probably traditional Bulgarian clothing. But there is a very sharp, rhythmic attack, you could say. It sounds very intense, actually. It's focused on the collective sound of the group, and it sounds like there's a bit of a controlled tension between the voices as well, if we actually hear it. Wow, this is really interesting. Oh, oh wow, very, very interesting. This is I'm assuming this is Bre Petrunko. I'm very curious so what they were singing, was that actual Bulgarian? I feel like I have so many questions. I did enjoy the traditional Bulgarian clothing that the women were wearing. It wasn't like an actual song. Like if you've heard of regular, like, choir singing is very different than, I guess this, in a way, this is kind of like a choir. But it just felt a lot more dramatic. I felt there was a lot more intensity in this singing. And I wonder if that's just part of the traditional song and music of Bulgaria, or if this is something that Bre Petrunko did by himself. Now, what I'm also very curious to is the actual... the reason why it's saying so dramatically. I wonder if any viewers who can actually give me more insight on this traditional, I'm assuming this is a traditional Bulgarian song, so I want to know the context behind it. I feel like that's something I wasn't able to find really. There's no subtitles here too, and it's not something I can actually find. So hopefully I can get some more background information on this. Now, the really cool part about this song too is that, yes, it did sound dramatic, it sounded very intense, but it felt very energetic. I think because the melody, the rhythm of the actual singing of what they were doing, it felt like a dance rather than kind of a concert ballet, or like, something that you would hear in an opera setting stage like this. And I think the actual singing by all these wonderful ladies, it was very polished. That's something that I mean, even together, it sounded like it was one. And yes, of course, when you're in a choir, it does sound like one. But I feel like if you are in an experienced choir, it truly does sound like one voice. And I feel like all these ladies, they are so well trained that it did sound like one voice. And it wasn't just this type of singing they were doing. Actually, it was exactly the type of singing that they were doing that sounded like it was one voice. But it was just so sharp. That's why it sounded like it was one voice. But if you hear regular choirs, I feel like you can kind of hear each person's individual voice in there as well. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I felt when I was watching this video too for the first time. And it sounded, actually, it's very unusual. I've never heard of a choir or a concert like this before. I think that's the really cool part about this too, is that every time, this is clearly like a concert stage, but every performance that I've seen, the live performance at least as well, is that it sounds very opera-like. And this did not sound like very, very opera-like. It sounded like it was just an actual choir. And that's the really interesting part too. I guess if you actually take notice of these things, there's a lot of really cool things that Bre Petrunko has done. I wonder if he actually, another question I guess I have is, did he write this song himself? It sounded like he did because he is the composer, or he is the one leading the composition. So I'm assuming yes, to a certain extent he did, but I want to know if anyone else was involved in it or it was all him entirely. Now, this is a very cool introduction to Bulgarian music. I know with Eastern European music, I've delved into a bit of the Hungarian side of things. I'm hoping to see maybe something more modern next, or even some more traditional folk music as well. But if you are from Bulgaria, if you are familiar with the song, or if you're even if you're from Eastern Europe, please let me know what you think of this song, this concerto, this ballad, if I may say so. Let me know what this song actually entails, what it means. I know there has to be some sort of meaning behind it, and I could not find it when I was looking the song up. So please let me know in the comments below what you think of this song. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very interesting. A great introduction to Bulgarian music, and I cannot wait to listen to more. If you enjoyed this reaction, please let me know in the comments below. If you have anything else from your language, your country, or culture that you want me to react to, I would absolutely love to do that as well. Thank you all so much for watching. This is The Great Voices of Bulgaria by Bre Petrunko. I believe he might be a very famous composer in Bulgaria and Eastern Europe. So I'm very excited to give him a listen to from now on. Hopefully he will be coming soon to my reaction videos. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.